Cool. Right, okay, so let's talk about what we're going to do then. Because there are a number of different directions we could go in terms of today's lesson. I don't mean actual route directions, I mean in terms of your development. It's sort of really what makes sense for you. There is no right or wrong answer. It's what you feel probably is going to benefit you the most. All right. So what my original plan was coming into today's session is to drive out of Pot, get out onto the open road, the A1079, and drive up to Dunnington, which is going to give us the opportunity to build up speed, to go through the gears. There's a 60-mile-an-hour section of road, so you know, as long as we're not held up in traffic, you'd be getting up to 60 and in 6th gear. But then there are 40 and 50 sections as well. But other than that, you're just basically pointing the car in a straight line and following the road ahead. Okay, so not too technical, but you're going to be going at much higher speeds than perhaps you have done so far. And then to head off into Dunnington itself, which is a little bit like Pocklington, in terms of it's a residential area. It tends to be a bit quieter than it is here. And then we can do some more work on, excuse me, dealing with these junctions, these T-junctions, and having a look at keeping the car rolling as you get to a giveaway line rather than stopping, you know, which is always the better option if you can do it. Okay. So it'll be back to a lot more technical work, first, second gear, lots of clutch control, lots of observations, making sure that we're keeping ourselves and everybody else safe. So that's sort of option one. Option two, you know, could be stick more locally, stick in and around Pocklington. We could go over to where the school is, Walgate. I can't remember what that hill is called that's opposite.
No, I don't know.
But there's a hill there that we could use, then we could sort of practice hill starts. As that's something that you're going to be needing to do based on where we live on a regular basis. Because if you go out Garraby way, you've got a hill. If you come out this way, you've got that little slope of a mile.
Either way,
So, you know, it's just a fact of life. You know, you're going to get lots and lots of hill starts that you're going to need to do, and you need to be confident in doing them. And we could potentially have a look then, because we'll be sticking more locally, at doing a bit of parking practice as well, which would be the first time perhaps you've got a car into reverse. It's quite technical, but it's not overly complicated unless you try to make it overcomplicated, but you don't really need to. So which of those two options do you feel like would be the best for you?
I think personally I'd prefer to go a bit faster, you know, go to Dunnington, because I've not done that before.
No.
I'd feel quite happy to do that if that's all right.
That's absolutely fine. I mean, we're going to be still working with the other aspects of your driving anyway, so because we're going to have some roundabouts to do. I can give you some more guidance on those. We'll be still doing a lot of clutch control, which will come in handy as and when you're needing to do hill starts and reversing as well, because it's the same technique that you're using effectively, you're just using it in a different context. Cool, that's absolutely fine. So what I'd like to do then, when you're ready, is we're going to move away from this position. We're going to go right down to the very, very end of the road, and then we're going to turn left.
Okay.
We're going to go down to where the library is, in the mini roundabout. Turn right there, up to where KFC is, and then head out on the open road that way. All right. I'll remind you where we're going at each stage. If it looks like you're dealing with everything okay, I'm just going to leave it up to you. But if I need to jump in, I will do. And if you've got any questions, ask.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
Right. Okay. Over to you when you're ready. Now, you're absolutely right, and there could be other people as well, couldn't there? So. For you, where would it make sense for you to check before you decide to get your car moving?
That way, definitely.
Right, okay, so give me a bit...
behind me and to the right.
Right, okay. There's one other place you need to check. It is still in the same direction, but it's what we call a blind spot.
Is it over your shoulder?
It is, yeah. Because what you'll notice, can you see where that like manhole cover is in the grass? If you look over your shoulder.
What? Oh yeah.
Can you see that in this door mirror?
No.
Sorry, in this centre mirror. Can you see it in your door mirror?
No.
Okay, but you can see it if you look over your shoulder.
Yeah.
So if there were a driveway there and there was a vehicle about to pull out, you're not going to see it there. You're not going to see it in your door mirror, but you will see it if you look over your shoulder and check.
Yeah.
Okay, so we always need to check when you're pulling away from this side of the road, your right blind spot, just to make sure nobody's about to come past you.
Yeah.
Yep. So over to you when you're ready then.